So, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Homeroom Lending Podcast. I'm here today with my co-host, Ken Fontanez.
Hi.
And I'm here with Jenn O'Brien from State Farm.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Jenn, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and how how you get into the business?
Sure, absolutely. So again, Jennifer O'Brien. I'm a State Farm agency owner in Smithtown. I've opened my agency about 4 years ago. So still new, but also I can't even remember what I did before either.
You have no other life besides that.
Exactly. State Farm agency owner. We specialize in auto, home insurance, life insurance. We help with business insurance as well. When I became a State Farm agent, I really wanted to have a special approach to the business and to building kind of my brand and helping to obtain more customers. And our approach was all focused on the three pillars of family, community, relationships. And we really kind of hold true to that today. Everything we do is all about trying to be involved in the community, meet people, just be more than just insurance.
Right.
Because I know for me prior, I was in the cosmetic industry. I worked in the city for about a dozen years and, corporate America. And, insurance, like I've always had State Farm, but I never really knew what my coverages were, how much I was paying. Like most people, you kind of pay the bill and you don't really pay attention to it unless, unfortunately you need it if you have a claim, something like that. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make insurance approachable and friendly and fun. And that's really kind of what we do and what we strive for. We don't want it to be something intimidating. So we do all fun stuff on social media, in the community. And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, and I see a lot of that you do post a lot on social media. I mean, I think your videos are awesome.
Thank you.
They really capture who you are. Like you're not trying to put yourself out there in any kind of certain way. It's just you come across very original and and they're very good. Like they're done very, very professional. Like I feel like I myself, some of the stuff that you put out there, I've taken out some tidbits where I'm like, oh shit, that works. That's cool. I like that. But yeah, you are someone that I've wanted to have you on the show. I know it's been been trying to coordinate, but Jenn is someone that's very involved with the community. Our whole premise and the way our approach here is that we want to educate people. It's all about transparency. It's about the community, right? For us, we have a specific interest in the Hispanic community because we feel that's an area that it's underserved more than other areas, right? So we're very educational, centered, and right, so that our basis is that when we meet with the client is to make sure that they understand what they're getting, right? Whether it's an FHA loan, conventional, same thing with insurance. There's a lot of moving parts in there. I myself, when I had homeowners insurance, I definitely would, it was complicated. I didn't really know what I was getting. It's definitely an area where if clients are not, if you don't explain it to clients, they have no clue. And it's hard for you to build that relationship if you can't make that connection where you're the person that's being almost like a fiduciary to them, right? Because you've got to look out for their best interest.
Right, because even the language of it alone is confusing.
Right.
So that's why we try to break that barrier and really first build the relationship, get to know them, get to know their family, what do they do for work. And then from there, we're able to kind of form the coverages around how they benefit them, not like reading a textbook, So if this happens to you, if you have a birthday, a pool party, and God forbid something happens, these are the coverages that would pay out, Or you go to work and you drive to work in the city every day. I'm sure you've seen accidents on the side of the road, pileups. This is actually what would happen in those situations. Because if you read something like a dictionary textbook or like sitting in insurance school, people are going to fall asleep and you're going to lose them. So we really try to put everything into stories, things that could be relatable. But it all starts with first building the relationship. Because if someone just thinks you're only trying to sell them or you're not really listening to their concerns. So it's all really need-based conversations. But in order to even have those customers want to do business with us, that's where we're then truly trying to get into the community to say, I'm also a local mom, a local business owner. I help out on, many committees and organizations. We love giving back. So we try to meet people through things that not necessarily are insurance related, but then people say, hey, I like you, we're similar, we have similar interests. Oh, you do insurance?
Right.
You know what? I haven't checked my insurance bill in months, years, God knows, or ever. Let me see. And then I would say, hey, let me see if we could give you a quote, help you out, if we could give you better coverages, save you some money, put some money back in your pocket.
Yeah, that's
and that's
how
the
it
thing
works.
too,
It's
people
great.
don't realize. Like, it's about not only about saving money, but it's about having the right coverage as well.
Right.
Because you could be paying all this money for insurance for 10, 20 years.
And then not be covered?
Yeah, and and then
Not have the right coverage.
you go for a claim. Most people don't have claims all that often, but you're once in 20 years ago to put in a claim, and then you're not covered, and you've been paying $1,000 times 20 years, $20,000, and then now you're not even covered, or you don't have the right coverage.
Exactly.
So that's why it's all about the conversation. It's so important.
It really is.
I mean, it's definitely worth the taking the time to sit down with someone like yourself and review all those options.
Absolutely.
We see it all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's insurance, whether it's a mortgage. Basically, there's just missing information. I mean, like you said, you could get a lot of information you can get online. Right, it's everywhere. There's a lot of information, but when it comes to experience and insight, that's where you come in, and you can help the client. Because I know that you've done a lot with the community. I'm sure a lot of people reach out to you. I know you've made a very, very big impact on how you put yourself out there in the community. I mean, you definitely are, from what I see, right, from what I hear, that you're like someone that's kind of developed a very specific niche.
We have. We almost kind of built a brand that way. In a very short few years, we really were able to develop a following. So if people are going on, one of the mom groups and like, hey, looking for an insurance agent, even people who don't know me or us or our customer necessarily, they're tagging us because they see their name everywhere.
Right.
They see our name out in the community. They see that we're giving back. We're sponsoring events. We're sponsoring baseball leagues, that are, signs are all over the place. So it's all about just that continuousness, but really being hyper centralized in the community. Same like you were saying, you're supposed want to focus more on the Hispanic community. So in order to do that, because everyone has so many choices, especially nowadays, but what could you do to stand out and for people to remember you? Because you could stand out once, or do an event once, but it takes that continuous repetition, and that's also where social media is so great.
Exactly,
it allows you to keep being in front of people on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're great at. I mean, I think you've been super consistent. I mean, I follow you, right, on everything you're putting out there, and I see that you're really, and I've spoken to you about some of the things you've done for the community, and that's something that we're trying to emulate. With something that we're trying to develop on our end. And actually, that's one of the reasons why I want to have you on, because listen, we've been doing this podcast for not too long, right? We've interviewed a lot of people. As we're meeting more people, we're learning more things, right? We're learning from people every day. I think you're someone that can definitely you're like a good example of what to do in terms of marketing and getting involved. Because we say it all the time. Oh, we want to help this community, we want to help that community, but very few people actually get involved like you have.
Right, and it's a daily effort. That's the same thing. It's not just one time, oh, I did my part, I handed over a check. No, you need to actually be there, pull people together. I mean, I'm constantly fundraising for all different efforts. I mean, a lot of what I do during my day is actually not necessarily what my State Farm hat on.
Right.
I sit on, like I mentioned, a number of different boards. Like even today, for example, like literally perfect example. So I started my day 8 a.m. with the networking meeting from Smithtown Chamber of Commerce. Then I'm on the PTA board over at my kids' elementary school. During that during the networking meeting, speaking to meeting other businesses, hey, we're doing this night at the auction. We're collecting baskets. Would you like to donate?
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
So although I'm there kind of as State Farm, but I'm getting to meet people and then also have them help the same efforts that, I'm doing.
Right.
Also with a few others, we started a non-for-profit last year. We're trying to build a park, like an actual public park in Hauppauge.
Wow.
Nice.
So it's the town I live in, and believe it or not, there's really no open fields and open space in the Hauppauge area, which is crazy.
That
and we
is
have,
crazy.
20,000 residents, and there's no soccer fields, and, there's this very small
Amazing,
baseball
right?
field. So we're really trying to get the community involved. And like next Monday, we're meeting with a local councilman at the library, and I'm trying to invite people from the community to come down and voice like why we want more for our kids, why we want more for the community.
So nice. That's great.
That, and then even again this morning, I'm working with a local family whose child unfortunately was just diagnosed with brain cancer. So, which is absolutely unimaginable. And in that, I'm the executive director of the Smithtown Children Foundation for the Hauppauge chapter. So I had that hat on and speaking with the family and saying, what bills can we assist with? Do you want to do a fundraiser? Can we assist with bills? Wow. So really like all in one day, I had my, my PTA hat on, my chamber hat on. I'm inviting people to, to join, to rally for us to get a park.
Wow.
And then
That's
with
good.
State Farm, I have 9 team members now. So there's a lot of management.
Wow.
On that piece as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Last year we literally had 3. And I'm like, oh my God, why is my payroll so high? I'm like, okay, yeah. Got a lot of people on board. But business has been booming.
That's great.
It really
and State Farm's
is fantastic.
a great company. I mean, I actually worked for State Farm.
Oh, wow.
For almost 8 years.
Amazing.
In the claims department.
Okay.
Yeah. I was a senior claims rep. So it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I had to go to school for 3 weeks in Illinois.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And,
Bloomington. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
And it was good.
You still do that? That's the place to
I
go?
don't have to
Illinois,
yeah. That's like everybody in that town works for State Farm.
Yes.
It's one of those things.
Yes.
They have like all the high-rise buildings there, and everyone's employed by State Farm.
It's a State Farm town.
Yeah.
New Jersey is. I guess
it's amazing. It really is such a great company.
It is.
And even the opportunity, like I have to pinch myself. Like in a few years, I really was able to get not only my freedom of my time, but also financial freedom as well.
Exactly.
Which is just unbelievable.
Yes.
Being able to be a small business owner and being able to focus my efforts on time for things that really are doing good.
Right.
So yes, of course, we'll go to events and put the State Farm table out there. But when I say community, it's really me as an individual giving back in ways and then meeting all people throughout that
all
path
walks of life
who also have that, same type of vision as well. So
That's
I truly
wonderful.
feel
It's really
blessed.
great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I've been seeing your progress. I mean, I remember you had you had a few people. I mean, it's amazing. You have 19 people. That's a huge leap.
It's a lot. Definitely a lot of management. So that's kind of my role now. I'm really like their coach.
Right.
Mentor. Exactly. Check in. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
I mean, we have a crazy game plan. Like we're trying to pretty much get our year in 3 months. Which is insane. But, November and December, I literally put together this plan and, just reverse engineering. If it takes us this amount times that to yield that. If we want to do triple or quadruple that, we need to do it even more.
Right.
So every single day, we're checking in on those goals. I'm checking in on it midday, end of day. So lately, it's been a lot of somewhat micromanagement, and my team's probably like, oh my God, enough already. But that's the only way for us to continue to improve and challenge ourselves. And that's also the problem when you come off such an amazing year. It's like, all right, how do we do it all again?
Yes, exactly.
And continuing to get better and better and better. But I, love seeing my team win and their success. And we're even seeing the results from it, from doing so much more. The results are there. Sometimes you don't know, but I always, every day tell them it's not luck. You have to work hard to get lucky,
So true.
It's not like, yes, once in a while things will fall in your lap.
Right, yeah.
You'll get a big win, but
Yes. But
luck
it's
is a
on an everyday basis. You have to work hard.
every day. And that's the difference. People aren't willing to do that,
Right.
I say if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Exactly.
It's not, it's the showing up
Consistent.
every
Every day.
single day.
Discipline, consistency.
Discipline. Oh my goodness, so much so. But it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. It's life is good, and excited to get back out there again. Also, networking and all that.
I was gonna say, like, have you been doing a lot of networking? Because I know
Not too much.
Nah, right?
No. This was actually the first morning meeting, and it was at a local coffee place. And there were 60 people in the room.
Wow.
I mean, it
Wow.
was packed. So people want to
They
get back out there.
absolutely
People
They really
are
do.
anxious.
Ah.
I mean, and it makes such a big difference. The Zoom networking, which I try like here and there, but after it's nothing like seeing people in person. And just having real conversation.
Right. Yeah,
And-
everybody misses that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're behind a screen so much anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
you got to change it up.
Exactly.
I think it's part of the reason why we get into this job is to have that ability to be able to network with people. A lot of our business, most of it was from networking, and then when COVID, happened, it definitely set us back. But then it helps us revamp and change things and get better at other things,
Right.
and still continue to do well.
You learn.
But it changed. But I do miss the networking. I haven't really done that many events this year. So far, even last year, I haven't really done that many. But the few that I did go to were amazing.
Right.
Yeah, and it's going to all start opening up again once
Yeah.
the warmer weather comes.
Exactly.
And fairs and this and that. I mean, people definitely want to be out. I mean, there's definitely a population that's still, lockdown
Right.
mode. And,
Yeah, I get it.
and that's
Yeah.
important. That's going to, hurt a lot of small businesses, restaurants, this and that.
Unfortunately.
But, there's also people that want to go back out there. But luckily, there's so many choices now. Like, even for events, like, we've been doing all of our events virtual. So, meaning, like for Valentine's Day, I gave free chocolate bouquets away. So, even though, technically free, but they would contact us for a quote, and then they pick up the chocolate bouquet. So, you don't necessarily, and it was door pickups. You don't really need true interaction.
Right.
I also did, was it last week? Yeah, I think last week. I did 100 free slices of pizza for National Pizza Day. But same, I don't really need any interaction. People go say, hey, we're picking from, State Farm. If they got a quote that day or that week anyway, we also gave them a free pie.
Right.
So there's a lot you could
that's
do
cool.
in like a creative way.
Yes.
So you're the
without
queen of
being,
that. That's one thing. You're very good at that.
Thank you.
You have
It's
a
fun.
lot. Your ideas, you're endless.
I'm
That's
always
awesome. I love
thinking.
that.
Yeah,
It's fun. I
do
always
something.
need to do something like bigger and better. It's like the laughing joke, but a lot of people know me as the elf on the shelf because I do for years. I do these crazy things dressed up as elf on the shelf, and it's like a running joke. At first I did it kind of for fun,
Right.
And then it came this like thing where people are like, "Oh my God, what are you doing
bring it out
now?"
again.
Exactly, and like, how can we make it even better? So this year, they talk about going over the top. I got an actual, a reindeer, a horse.
Oh, no.
A horse.
Dress
No
it
way.
to make it look like a reindeer.
A reindeer, a horse. With Santa on a sleigh, and
No
we were
way.
doing reindeer and horse and sleigh rides.
Wow.
way.
Yeah, so I mean, we go way
Nice.
over the top. I mean, that thing was very expensive, but those are things that are a wow for people. I mean, for
Right.
kids to go on a reindeer ride with Santa, I mean,
Wow,
you
that's
can't top that.
priceless. Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah.
That's a core memory right there.
Yeah. So that's now I'm like, all right,
That's
how
what you
how
do.
are
You,
gonna-
you collect core memories. That's what you're doing.
yeah,
You really,
and that's what it
with
is,
the
and
community.
and people remember. They're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
So we do all sorts of fun things, and a lot children focused. Like as a mom of 3, I'm always getting involved in like whatever my kids are doing. So it's if they have anything, at whatever teams that they're on, we're always sponsoring or
Yes,
doing give
exactly.
backs or helping them out, and it's fun.
It's amazing.
Definitely
It's
fun.
It's getting around. I mean, I've heard it not just from I've found that not from just seeing it on your social media, but I've heard it from other people that know you. I've just heard it around that.
yeah, that's
that you're
nice.
very involved with the
Yeah.
community, and you're doing an amazing job. You could be like the next like Long Island billionaire at the rate you're going.
There you go.
Really.
There you go.
No,
Right?
you're like I could tell. we talked to a lot of people. We've been doing this for a long time. Kim's been in the mortgage business for over 20 years. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and I've been just in the industry, right, in sales and business for a long time, for over 20 years myself. But when I meet people, you could tell the difference. There's some people that just, they say they're doing things and they're talking about it and everything else, but you're one of those few people that
actually are doing it.
You're doing it, and way above, and to a whole different level, where it's almost like it's a unique skill.
It's a weird thing. And even this week alone, I talked on 3 conference calls. One on Tuesday, a few hundred people from State Farm.
Wow.
All other State Farm team members and agents. Where they actually used to, I used to be on stage and in front of large audiences for State Farm, and trying to talk to people about branding and all that. And then I did another call with 50 people who State Farm want to become agents.
Oh, okay.
With telling my story and how to do it, because it's a really unique opportunity where, even in my town, there's 4 State Farm agents alone, but it's what are you going to do to differentiate yourself? And then just kind of coming up with that vision and then holding true to it. But even in some of the introductions, which I couldn't believe, I'm like, oh my God, did I really achieve all that? Or it sounds real. Even
That's
last
amazing,
year, there's
Jenn.
21,000 agents. In one category, I got top 50.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Wow.
In which I'm like, oh my God. As when they do all the introductions and they're reading, all the stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're about top 100, out of all the agents. So we're the top 2% of the company, which is, and it's my little office. I have a 700 square foot office. It's crazy that, just what you're able to do.
Productive. You guys.
So it's wild.
This is great. You're a great leader. You have to be a great leader to be doing what you're doing with the community, with your business and everything else. Because I know that the people that I've had a chance to speak to that work for you, they love working there.
We make it fun. Yeah. We definitely do all sorts of crazy things all the time. They're like, "Oh God, what are you having me do now?" but it's fun.
You build
it's
them.
Definitely fun.
You build them because I know that some of them have gone on and opened up their own place, right?
Exactly. Gabriella, and that's really what I want for all my team members. I truly believe the State Farm agent opportunity is one of the best opportunities out there to be a small business owner, and I want my team to too experience that success, because financially is one thing, but to be able to have freedom of your time is priceless.
Like
and there's no one reporting. It's not a boss of a boss of a boss. If we're hey, we're going to give away 100 free slices today. I'm going to make a quick Canva poster, post it, and you just run with it.
Pull the trigger.
Exactly. So it's great. It's a wonderful way to, be able to raise a family on Long Island, as a working mom, especially too.
Oh, yeah.
So for sure. It's important.
Wow, so
but it's good.
What is something that you would want to tell someone that's new into the insurance business and they want to get started, like to get going? What's something you would tell them to get them on the right path?
Yeah, definitely. If you're not in insurance, you do need to get licensed, as we were talking about. So that's a big block for some people.
Right.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, great, come on in, but you have to do 90 hours of studying, and you have to pass a test that has a 50% fail rate. So that's the hard thing. Those classes, it's not just show up and take the test. You really have to study, and that's not too fun anymore. But I think going into the insurance industry, it's such an amazing industry. It's not glamorous and fun. I make it fun, but still.
You make it look fun.
You can make it fun. But coming from the cosmetic industry, where it's all the glitz and glam, to insurance, I would have never thought in a million years. But I'm having the funnest time of my life, living my best life here, being an insurance agent.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
Exactly.
But I would say starting out, as with anything, everything takes hard work. You have to put your time in. But for people who are in retail or restaurant industries and work crazy hours or weekends, or you're on your feet, this is a job. Once you get licensed, it literally is 100% job security. There are so many insurance agents. If you are, and it's also interesting. Every phone call is different.
Right.
Every single phone call, you don't know what someone's going to say on the other end of the line, what's going to come across, and you have the ability to help people at the end of the day. You truly are helping people.
Right.
That's
the best
it's
part about
amazing.
it.
Exactly. So, people be like, oh, insurance, that sounds really boring. But
it's really not.
Come to the office. It's the
You make it
last
fun.
thing
Right.
as boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool
Yeah.
that you also find that it's a way for you to find fulfillment. Like you're helping
Absolutely.
people. Like I haven't heard that from insurance folks.
Right.
Because we say it all the time.
Yeah.
Like we're helping someone buy them, reach the American dream, buy their first home, and so forth, which is a big deal, right? I mean, it's life changing. But I never hear it from insurance. Like,
and it's also like we're helping people on their worst days and their best days too.
Right,
They're
right,
getting married, or first home. We're celebrating with them, first
Right.
child, but then also, God forbid, they have a fire in the house or a spouse passes away that we have life insurance on.
Right.
We're able to kind of be the hero in those situations, saying, don't worry, we got this covered for you.
Right.
We're going to handle it. And that's really when
a good
those
feeling, yeah.
personal relationships come in, because on that worst possible day, if you need to collect an insurance payment, you're obviously going through you're having a bad day,
Yes.
right? I mean,
Absolutely.
like, it seems like that, yeah, like
Exactly.
it can't get any worse. And you don't want to be on the phone with a 1-800 number who's going to transfer you 10 times, tell your
Right.
story over and over again. With us, I mean, I would say maybe exaggerate, over 50% of our customers, and we have a big book of business now, have my cell phone. They reach me on Facebook.
Right.
I mean
that's
they're
so
all different
frustrating.
things.
It
So
really
they
is.
know, right
you
away.
can't
And I'm very, responsive. So yeah, having that person, and people don't realize that. Like, God forbid something happened. Do you want to be put on hold with a 1-800 number?
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah,
That is.
so it's so important
It's so
to have a
important.
personal relationship. Again, it's not important till you need it, but when you need the insurance, it is the most important thing.
Even just for us, right?
Yeah.
So, calling the insurance company just to change things, like the mortgage information, the loan number. Do you know how frustrating it is when you try to call?
And we're the professionals
Yeah.
doing it, so I
Right.
can't imagine if a client has to
Exactly.
handle it. That's
Yeah.
a whole different.
And that's why we're very,
Yes,
very big text
hands-on.
message. Snap me a picture. We'll get it taken care of. Where do you want it sent back?
Yeah, you're very fast.
Yeah, you guys have been amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys your
Yeah.
bids are very competitive. Jen, I have to say that we're super excited that you came on to do the podcast, because we've it's just everything that
Yeah,
you're saying,
thank
everything
you.
that we see. We're trying to also emulate, right? I mean, I don't. As far as the community work that you do, I think we're light years away from that. Right, because you're
committed. You don't, never, you just have to start.
Yeah, we just
That's it.
exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it
even,
is.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
if you start
It's the-
small and find something that you care about. Again, personally, not necessarily even business or anything. Like, find, whatever organization. It could be animals. It doesn't
Right,
really
right.
matter.
Yeah.
Anything at all. And then just find out ways to get involved. And then you'll meet other people getting involved. And then you bring, your business naturally there, because there are people who are always looking for sponsorships and ways to help. And especially with the Hispanic community, like, back to giving backpacks or things over the holidays. Like, we always do free pies for Thanksgiving. We'll order a few hundred pies and say free pie pickup, or sometimes we'll deliver it to a community as well. So there's always, things to do that doesn't have to be this brilliant
Major
of
production, right.
an
Right.
idea, right, or even planned out.
Right.
It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing. Then also with social media, it's giving you things to talk about. It's forcing you to get out there. But if you're going to get out there, it can't just be like a walking billboard.
Right.
You need
Exactly.
something to talk about at the end of the day.
And it's all about helping people. That's what we all
Yeah,
want
that's
to do,
it.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I mean,
that's what it's about.
Yeah, folks, if you want to learn about how to reach the community, how to work with the community, I think Jen is an expert, a pro. If you
I'm
have
happy
any
to
questions,
help.
that could be her separate. That could be a whole separate business for you
Yeah,
altogether. You could
absolutely.
be
A philanthropist.
consultant, philanthropist,
That's actually
consultant.
someone even at the networking meeting. They're like, "Oh, you should do this. Like, the minimum thing is like $10,000." They're like, "But so many people, like, you could raise that like within hours." I'm like, "I don't know about that, but it is
But that's
crazy."
how people view you.
Yeah, they're like, like, oh, you could raise money easily. Not
That's
a big
so nice
thing.
to have that, that people think of you like that.
And it's great. And that's just the same thing when people find out people in need. There, even somebody posted something on one of the mom groups, and I got like 1 million tags. So I'm like, oh, is somebody looking for insurance? And it was someone looking for, basket donations. I was like, all right. Still happy to help with that. But you have to think all the people, even though this is something not related to me or I don't necessarily have an interest in it, but of course I'll help because I'm going to be exposing myself, even if it's a group of 15 ladies in a room.
What it is.
Sure, I'll go, I'll meet people, give back, and, it's fun. You're, putting yourself out there in a way that's giving back.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
truly,
great.
really like admire what you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
It's very that's your whole different level. I mean, because like I said, we've talked to a lot of people. I've worked with a lot of people in the past, and I know a lot of people that say they're doing things with the community and everything else. But you are truly someone that is involved and truly doing it and making things happen. So we just could only hope that one day we could get to that point.
Absolutely. And karma. A lot of times I always think, I'm like, wow, did this just fall in my lap because I just gave a check to because weird things sometimes happen, or you'll get that phone call like, really? Is this, so sometimes you strike it lucky.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
And then you're like, okay, is that because of all these other things?
It's because what you've done, because there's no luck in New York. Luck in New York doesn't really exist. It's very tough. It's very tough.
Hard knocks life.
My mother always said, everything comes back. Always said to me, things will come back to you. Things that we do for people. I'm always helping people and constantly, but it's not on social media, right?
No, you're that person. That's you. I see you as someone like that, Kim, too, like someone that could really get integrated with the community and get things going.
I would love that.
That's something that we definitely
I would love.
Should.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
just to start it, to figure that out.
Exactly. You find an organization, or even if you see that someone's having an event somewhere, instead of maybe buying a ticket to the event, maybe you're volunteering your time and working at a table or working whatever. I want to help your organization out. So it's just finding people and then asking. People will always take free help, right? I mean, for sure.
Volunteer your time.
So you volunteer, you start getting involved, you see if there's a connection there. Sometimes there's not, and you're like, you know what? I'm not sure if this setting is right for me, but you find somewhere where there are other people, and that's really how you start, again, making relationships.
Right.
Because it's all about building that trust. And again, living in somewhat a virtual world now, that's even harder to do. So anything that you could put yourself out there to make a difference and impact, people are going to remember that.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
Improve. Yeah. And what's the next big thing you have going on? Next
oh my goodness.
event or
what's,
let people know so they can.
Oh my
Something
goodness.
that we could,
What's in the works? What's in the works?
You know what? We have a lot of events that we're sponsoring. So this is actually something else that I do, which is a great idea for you guys. I would definitely do. So what we do with these events that we sponsor is I come with my life-size Jake or myself or somebody from my team. We go right by the registration table, and what we do, or say if somebody checks in, then they bring them over to us, and we say, if you get a quote, we'll donate $10 on your behalf. So even if it's at whatever type of an event, we do all these give backs. So people fill out a card. It's really nothing for them. They fill out a card to get a quote.
Right.
We donate $10 on their behalf. So we have a lot of those events upcoming the next month. The big events for I guess the spring and all that, those are all still TBD.
Right.
Trying to think of something fun for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Some type of Lucky Charm promotion or something, get lucky with us. I don't know. I'm playing playing with words. But something fun for the community there. Mother's Day I already have planned. We're going to do free bouquets for moms and deliver the flower bouquets. Last year for Mother's Day we did free pedicures, which was amazing.
That's great.
People love that. We had a very high redemption rate. But I'm trying to think of we always do something centered around a holiday, 100%, and then anything that's seasonal. Plus we also support a lot of small, if there's a new small business in town, town, we'll do coffee on us, ice cream on us, whatever it is. So we always have those things happening. Like we love to celebrate every happy National Donut, Hot Dog, whatever day.
Exactly.
I mean, I go all about it. But I don't have
amazing.
anything like too big of a production
Well,
yet.
you have so many. You have
we have
so
a
many
lot of little
things.
ones. I think because there's not too much big gatherings yet of people. When there will be, then 100%. That's the other thing too. You don't want to plan. I mean, similar to a vacation.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to plan this whole thing, and then you can't do it.
Exactly.
You know,
because we've been saying we want to plan a big thing over the summer.
As a matter of fact, I mean, that's funny you mentioned that because we have Steve here, the producer, who's specializes in things like that. And
you guys did all those fun events. Remember the Burgerito last year?
Yeah, Burgerito. They did StatFest over the summer. They basically that's what they do. They put together huge events.
Amazing.
And I think that's something that's ironically that we're here with one of the main founders of those types of events. Where they've had as many as I believe it's 30,000. Am I out there? 10,000?
That's high. That's 10, a lot of people. I did an event last year. I coordinated not through State Farm, through the park initiative that I'm doing, and we had 2,000 people come.
Wow!
And that was a lot. But it was amazing. We had music and food trucks and stations to do for a table. We worked with the town, to get permits, and it was pretty incredible. It was amazing. So that's going to come up on anniversary. That's what happens. You start looking at what you did last year.
Right.
But finally, we're in the clear. I mean, we're still in the dead of February, so it's kind of like blah season. But once the sun starts shining,
exactly.
You get going. But planning's hard. So planning's so hard nowadays to do anything because there's so many things that come up that even earlier today I was trying to book a little weekend thing. They're like, all right, you could do the non-refundable version, which is like a few $100s less, or the refund. I mean, and the non-refundable version usually makes sense, but I'm like, I wouldn't care, but now I'm like, you know what? There's a 50-50 chance that maybe you won't use it, even though you could save a little. We actually had a crazy story. We were supposed to go on a cruise. Actually, I booked it before COVID went crazy spike, but I did book it last minute in December. So I was supposed to leave December 24th. So you'll have to get PCR tests and, show negative and the whole thing. So we're finally in the clear. We got our tests back in time. We're ready to go. We're all, negative. Woohoo, we're going on this cruise. We get to the dock and they test everyone again.
Oh, gosh.
And my daughter tested positive on the cruise dock. They already took our bags. It was horrible. It was the worst thing. I mean, the feeling of crying inside. I was crying. I mean, my kids were actually
crying.
Yes. But I mean, it was we were stuck in this weird room as if we were we were
crazy people trying to hurt the world.
We couldn't I even needed to be escorted. Yeah, exactly. I need to be escorted to the bathroom. They didn't let us go anywhere. We were in this smaller room. We had to wait hours for our luggage. So that was really bad. So we rebooked the cruise for April. And then so that was our. But then I felt so bad that we didn't go on the cruise. I then booked Disney in January. So, so we just came back from Disney, or somewhat a few weeks ago. But the day before Disney was the final day of quarantine for one of my girls who just got out. I have a feeling one of my family members probably had COVID during Disney, but we all went clear. And then as soon as we got home, positive.
Oh my goodness!
So we've had, but we made it to Disney. That was
that was the biggest thing
my goal.
For the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, prior to Disney, I was like triple mask. I'm like, I'm going on this trip. I do not care. So we made it to Disney, but we quarantined
came back, beat up
on both sides. Exactly.
Right?
If it's on one side or the other, wow, that's a little wild.
But the cruise thing was quite traumatic of an experience.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, that's it. We're going literally that same day on the car ride back. I'm booking Disney. I'm like, we're going somewhere amazing, guys. I'm like, don't worry.
Trying to make it up.
Everything's
typical
so
mother,
expensive
right?
now.
Everything's so expensive.
Inflation's been kicking.
I can't even believe. I'm like, are these the rates? I'm like, well, I guess other people are paying this amount.
Yeah.
I was trying to do plan a birthday party for my little one, and it's the minimum $600 with 12 kids. But who has 12 kids at a birthday party? You have to invite the whole class, the baseball team,
the 40 kids later,
the kids from nursery school. So I'm like, you know what? If that's going to cost $1,000, we might as well do another hotel somewhere for $1,000. With a water park. So my mom's like, other one on the way. She's like, oh, it's so excessive. You guys just came back. I'm like, but it's like the same amount of money, you know?
Right.
But never mind. Of course, when you're actually there, the food, the this,
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. You don't want to tell
A few $1,000s. But yeah, just but everything's so expensive now. I'm like, how much? It's like sticker shock.
You know, you really think of like how some families do it.
Yeah.
You know, you really think
hard.
like that. It is. It's sad.
It's
really
just almost
is.
like a waste of money, you know, like oh, we're gonna spend that much on, even like we were saying,
birthday.
like sushi meal for two, for me and a little one, $70.
Yeah,
I'm like, I barely even ate.
Yeah,
inflation.
Lucky, like some people spend tens of thousands of dollars on a birthday and things like that.
it.
Where like
now homeowners insurance went up,
It did.
Right.
Homeowners across the board. I feel so. Everyone's calling like, why did my home rate? I'm like, trust me, it's not going into my pocket. It's not. You know, it's across the board because of inflation.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, cost to rebuild, materials.
Everything doubled.
It really did.
It's
truly.
Crazy.
But with State Farm policy, which is so nice, you actually get an additional 20% above and beyond your dwelling. So people don't realize that in case you did need to use your insurance, like a bad claim, fire, anything, tree falling in the middle of your roof. So above and beyond your dwelling, the base of your dwelling, you get an additional 20%. And when you're talking about a home that's insured for $500,000, 20% of that's not chump change.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a big savings.
So but a lot of people, you know, they want to lower the premium, which sure, but then what happens is then you'll lose that 20% if you're not covered at 100%. State Farm removes that 100%. So even though we've been getting a lot of phone calls, why did my homeowners go up? But really nobody at the end of the day, maybe we could lower it, we could bring your dwelling back to where it was, but then you're going to lose that additional 20, which really nobody opts for. God forbid if you need it. You know, again, the chances are slim, but if you do.
At the time, exactly.
Yeah, you're not over, you know, especially a lot of people pay through their mortgage. I'm like, you're really going to feel an extra $10, $20 a month.
Right.
Seems like a lot, maybe a few hundred a year, but $25 a month.
Exactly.
Save a few Starbucks runs, right? That's it. Maybe two.
It's
Starbucks runs.
I know.
Yeah.
Perspective, right?
Yeah, but I was just saying that earlier today about, you know, like how insurance went up.
Yeah,
right.
It's true. And all carriers across the board.
Exactly.
We're actually most competitive right now in auto insurance.
Oh, okay.
People don't realize, you know, people think State Farm, creme de la creme, like the Gucci of insurance. But like we kill like Geico and other competitors on the auto. We're so competitive. And the home also, our home rates are great, but not only on the homeowners that you have to be concerned, you know, obviously the premium, but the coverages. Our State Farm homeowners policy will blow any policy out on the market. There's so many extended coverages that we have. That's what I always tell people. If you have a claim, just ask, you know, because most likely it possibly could be covered. We have so many extensions on our base coverages that other carriers don't offer.
Now, what about dogs? You know, obviously I know if you have certain dogs, right, specific dogs, I don't know how State Farm is, but
so State Farm is actually also one of the few carriers that we are pet friendly. You could have a slew of pit bulls and it's fine. Do your thing.
Right.
Completely.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, you don't need. So a lot of applications ask, you know, do you have pets?
Right.
What kind of pet? They could do a surcharge, or they could just not write you at all. We are 100%. We don't ask about pets at all.
Okay.
So it's not something,
good.
and a lot of people don't realize that. And then when they find that, they're like, really?
Right.
Or they'll say they're like, oh, you know, off top or offline,
Right.
or off the record.
Exactly.
I have 3 pit bulls. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. You know, you're going to be covered, or if you know, you're not going to be dropped if God forbid something happened.
Right.
So that and trampolines. A lot of carriers don't write people with trampolines for some reason. State Farm doesn't care about trampolines.
And now what about by the water?
Yeah. Water, not too much.
Not too much.
No. Yeah. Certain places on the water, like if your house is elevated or something, but it's basically they look at loss ratio. So if you're in an area that's either a high flood or a high loss ratio, then no. Other carriers definitely, but State Farm, it's like too high of a risk.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not too much by the water, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the dog, the pit bull thing.
We like dogs.
It is a big thing.
I had no idea.
We do pet insurance also now.
Yes.
We offer pet insurance. So,
I heard that. That's great.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's exciting.
Sure.
I had no idea about the ped like that.
Really?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
you guys didn't have like. It doesn't
Yeah,
affect,
no
was I-
exclusion, nothing.
Yeah, because it does affect. You know, I know
Oh,
a
yeah.
bunch of people actually. that
Yeah,
have-
or if you have a claim, say if you start your policy with somebody, a year later you have a claim, they asked if you had a dog, you said no, but now you have a liability lawsuit, your pit bull bit the mailman, whatever, they could actually technically not cover you because you didn't list
Right.
that,
But not with State Farm.
Yeah, no, yep, so.
You hear that, folks?
There you go. State Farm. Yeah,
Farm.
we love our pets.
Wow.
We love our dogs. Exactly. Like a good neighbor.
State Farm.
Just make sure you call.
100%.
Just make sure you call Jen.
Yep, exactly.
take care of you.
We got you covered there, for sure.
You should be the commercial person for them now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
eventually,
And
who
I'm
knows?
like, forget
You're on your
Jake.
way.
I'm like,
yeah,
Jen from
Let Jen-
State
Jen.
Farm.
That's a
Jen
great
from State
commercial.
Farm.
I love that commercial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We actually, I did a mock commercial, not commercial, like a fun videotaping last year. Instead of What Are You Wearing, Jake from State Farm,
Right.
we did like a replay of What Are You Wearing, Jen from State Farm.
Ah.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
we had like a young couple come down the stairs, like, who were you talking to? At
Jake.
3 a.m.
Jen.
They're like, give me the phone.
And the guy is like,
Yeah, it's a great commercial.
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
Right, me too. It's like Jake
Yeah, we
from
have-
State Farm
We
at
have
3
fun
in the
with
morning.
Jake. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Khakis, yeah. So funny.
I know. Good stuff.
funny.
Yeah, it is.
But when they actually
Jake
hear
is
your
cool.
voice, oh no, it is
It
Jen.
is Jen.
Yeah.
They're fine. Oh, Jen, how's it
funny.
going? We wanted to call you and talk to you
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, thank you
Whoa.
so much
Yeah.
for coming.
Yeah, thank you for-
I mean, it was
Absolutely.
really
This was fun. Long time overdue.
Yes,
I know,
yes.
with just things in life, it's crazy how fast a month,
Yes.
the days go into weeks, go into months,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's a constant conversation, especially in my office when we're racing against the
can
clock and all. We're like, all right, it's the beginning of the month. Hey, it's halfway through the month, and then I start stressing. I'm like, it's the last week of the month. But yeah, that's always being in sales.
That's how- yeah, that's the cycle, yeah.
Where you are in the
It's
month
so
is always
true.
like scary.
Yes. Right.
It never changes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't change from anything sales. Yeah, it's that
Always.
life.
Same
yeah.
thing.
And if I'm always saying the same thing, I'm like, weren't we just at the beginning of the month? Like, how are we at the halfway through the month? Because it goes, and February is a short month.
I know.
28
Exactly.
days. Scary.
Some people
Gotta
don't
get
even
it
get their
in.
birthday sometimes.
I
on the
know.
It's the 29th.
But good, no, this was great, and you guys are amazing. I love
thank
all the things
you.
you do, and from social media, not to even feel like seeing you. It's like I have seen you because from social media,
Right.
you're able to feel like you stay connected with people.
That
Yeah.
is
For sure. And I know some of the customers that we worked with or clients that you gave us, they say nothing but good things about you guys.
Oh,
So
thank you.
For sure. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you for
definitely,
helping us. I mean,
you guys
been-
are great at what you do. You definitely
Thanks.
take care of your customers, and
Aw.
we always want to make sure we do the same.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
you have.
Thank
You guys have been the best.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're excited to continue
you.
working together, and hopefully we can get involved us on our end with the community. Maybe there's something
Yeah.
that you could
Yeah.
help us out with.
100%.
We
Yeah.
become
Love to.
another arm to what you're doing, right?
Always.
Expand what
Always.
you're doing somehow.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to be
I'd love
part of
to-
anything.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Always down for that. I mean, I feel like I'm not like, I don't feel I have the ability and the skill set like you have to do something like that. I think we all have like inherently our
yes.
skills like to do
Right,
that. I think you're a
definitely.
natural for that, but I love to piggyback off what
Definitely.
you're doing and
more
learn.
than welcome to
and learn.
come
Like,
join,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
always
Awesome.
for
Thank
sure.
you.
No,
Thank
we'll
you.
definitely do that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be
Thank
great.
you for having me. And
Yeah,
for
you're
anyone, any
welcome.
insurance needs, feel free to contact myself again. Jennifer O'Brien,
Thanks.
State Farm agency owner. My office is right in Smithtown. I can be reached at 631-724-0002 or emails jen@insurewithjen.com, Jen with 2 N's. So hit us up and find us on
Perfect.
social media. Definitely good way to stay in touch with us. You'll know everything we're doing, including what I ate for dinner. No. No.
Folks, that's
Yeah.
a pro right there. Like, we usually have to give a cue on that,
Yeah.
but you ran with it better than anybody we've ever interviewed with.
I had a few practice runs.
Yeah,
too.
no, you're excellent. Thank you for coming, and folks, thank you for joining us on
Yes,
another
thank
episode
you.
of the Homeroom Lending Podcast. Thank you for having your eyes on us and letting us be part of your few minutes of your life in the next few hours.
Great.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Catch you next
Good day.
time.